Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back to session. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So yeah. So before we start, I want to know your understanding on the test cases and the test scenarios. So what do you mean by a test scenario? Can somebody volunteer? What do you mean by a test scenario?
Test
It is a
scenario is
One at a time.
one-line statement. It tells us what can be done.
Where what can be done?
one test scenario have multiple test cases.
Okay. Any other answer? Guys, I want everybody to respond.
High level statement.
Sorry, Kaveshri.
High level statement like login, like
See, whenever you answer,
yeah.
okay, please be clear on what you're saying. Why we do it? What is it actually? Why we do it? Where we do it? I mean, beat any question, not just the test scenario or the test case. Okay, beat any question. So whenever you are answering, just not to me, even in an interview, if you answer this in the same way, so it looks very vague, right? So when we take login, what do? Don't give a pause. If you want to think, just think for take some time, take few seconds. First think, phrase your sentence, and then try to answer. Even in an interview, you need to do this. So if you cut your answer into bits and pieces, give pauses here and there, then the interviewer will not be interested to listen to you. Yes or no? It might not be me. See, I know that, yeah, you guys are still learning, right? But in an interview, what does the interviewer expect? He wants perfect answers. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So please phrase your answers, phrase your points, and then try to answer. Your mock is done, right?
Shall I tell, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. What is the rating that you have got? 1 second, Bindu. Kavya, what is the rating that you got?
Rating, no, ma'am. They told to prepare well.
See, I'm not just pointing Kavya Shri. I want to know everybody's rating. I'll get it later. But please try to understand. You guys don't have much time. Your project class you're in mid of your project class. Okay. So you just have like another 15 to 20 days to go. By then you will be kind of 90% prepared for an interview. 90 to 95% in another 15 days. So you have to be very good at all the concepts. Don't assume that in your project class you will be learning everything. No, based on the manual concepts, how you implement it in an organization, how much you should know, what are all the things, basic things that you need to know to survive in an organization. See, even if you get a job, the first 2 to 3 months will be really difficult for you to manage because everything will be new. Just by understanding and actually facing the situation is different. I'm not scaring you, but actually it will be a little difficult. So your confidence is very important. So when you answer, have that confidence and answer. Don't worry even if you're wrong. Okay? ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೊಡೆದಂಗೆ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂತ. So whatever it might be, ಸುಳ್ಳು ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, just even if you're wrong, just have that confidence and answer, please. Okay, whoever it is. Yes, Bindu. Please answer.
Yes, ma'am. Test scenario is a high-level documentation of a customer business workflow. And then test scenario is we can write a test scenarios by looking into the requirement given by the customer.
Okay.
By looking into by looking into the test scenario, we cannot test the software until we have a very good knowledge on the particular product.
Okay.
where test cases is a detailed documentation of the test scenario, which it helps us to test the software.
Okay.
And then we
Can we
can
test
write
an
a test.
application just by looking into test scenario?
Sorry, ma'am.
Can we test an application just by looking into the test scenario?
Only we can test when we have a very good product knowledge of that particular product, ma'am.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
only we can test. We
Okay.
can write the
But there
test
are
cases.
chances that you might miss, even if you are an expert, there are chances that you might miss few cases, right? So
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
that is why you write test cases, right? Not
Yeah,
to
ma'am.
miss any of the case and also to have good coverage. Yes. So
Yes,
when
ma'am.
you are an experienced candidate who's attending an interview, don't answer like, see, I'm not saying you covered most of the points, but when you answer, see, try to interconnect from one point, take one point, that is test scenario, and try to explain test cases also. The interviewer might ask you, what do you mean by test scenario? Try to explain what is test scenario first, and in the end, drag your point towards the test case. So it should be something like, what are all the disadvantages of not writing the test scenario, or what are all the advantages of writing the test scenario? If you just test the application by looking into test scenario, what will happen? So that actually you have to lead it to test case. So that is the reason why you write test cases. By looking into test scenarios also, I can test the application, but it is good to have. It is must to write test cases. By looking into test cases, we have to test the application. Also, when you write test scenarios, you will not have the attributes, you will not have the columns called expected result, actual result, bugs, right? So even in the documentation, you will not have too many points. See, this might be a little confusing for you, but when you answer one particular question, any related topic, you can pick and actually you can pick those points and put it in your answer. So you can rephrase it, whatever you have understood in your manual class. With that understanding, put all the points in your own words and try to answer. Okay? I want this to be done by all of you, not just say what you have learned in your manual class. Okay. Bindu, you answered those points which you had written in your notes, right? I mean, whatever
Yes,
you
ma'am.
had practiced by heart
Yes, ma'am.
or whatever, right? So for a fresher, it is good. For a fresher, whoever is actually attending as a fresher, that is fine. But as an experienced candidate, please try to answer your understanding. Please put forth your understanding. Okay, clear
Okay, ma'am.
to everybody.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, so that's fine. So what is a test case? What is a test case?
It's a detailed documentation of the test scenario and the requirement.
Of the requirement. Okay, so as the definition says, it is the detailed documentation. So in the test scenario, you cannot make a documentation of all the information, right? As I said, expected result, actual result will not be present in the test scenario, which is the very important attribute. Bug ID, it is also a very important attribute, right? So all those informations will not be present in the test scenario. So it is mandatory. It's not good to have, but it is mandatory to write test case documentation. It's a detailed documentation, right? So now please tell me, what are all the attributes of a test scenario? Do you understand what do you mean by attributes? So what are all the column headers that you have in the test case document? Yes, come on.
Serial number,
Sorry?
serial number,
Serial
test case
number.
ID,
Serial number. Test case ID. Okay.
module name,
One second. Tell me now. I'm speaking about test scenario. Is this okay? Somebody said module name. Okay.
Test scenario.
Test scenario.
Good. Module name should be there.
Test data.
Where? Here only or next column?
After the test case rating.
Test case ID or test scenario ID? That is why I said this is test scenario attributes.
Yeah.
Test scenario documents. What are all the columns that you will have in your test scenario document? Guys, what happened?
Actual status, actual result.
Actual result. Will it come in a test scenario document?
It will come in test case.
Yeah.
So what should come here? Do you have your manual notes at least next to you? Please open your notes. Guys, you have to study, yaar. You have to study. At least whoever knows, please answer. Guys, only I can see two to three members answering. What about others? Should I point?
No.
Huh? Should I ask particular person?
Ma'am, Vasungoda sir didn't taught us this one test scenario attributes that are not only test case attributes. So headers they gave. He gave.
Oh, test scenario has not taught. You should speak, no? Then how
Yeah.
will I understand? Huh? You should speak up.
This one only this topic he didn't taught only.
Okay, fine. No problem. See, this is not very important, but yes, when you say that you were writing test scenarios and converting them into test cases, you should know, no? When you answer in an
Yeah.
interview that I was writing test scenarios, I was converting those test scenarios to test cases. When you say that, there are chances that he might ask you to write test scenarios. Yes or no? Also, when you write yes, also when you write test cases, assume the interviewer asks you to write test cases on one particular module or application or whatever, one object. Okay, so what you need to do, you have to start with the test scenarios. Right? So you have to write test scenarios, right? And then write test cases. Yes or no? So how will you write the test
Yes,
scenarios?
ma'am.
Test scenario heading. So will you write something like this? Test scenario. Next, number 1. What is it? Do you write like this? Next, second. What is the just the description? Do you just write the description? You need to have an attribute. This is also done in some of the organizations. I'm not saying this is wrong. Test scenario. They will write test scenario. That will be the header. Here, they'll write test scenario. I'll prepare one more sheet. I'll write it here at last. So they'll say test scenario. Which module? Module name is cart. Let's say cart. Second, written by Apurva. I'm the QA. Okay. Reviewed by. Okay. There is one lead. Lead 1, 2, 3. My lead has approved. Let's say. Okay. So written date or review date. I'll say written date. I'm just giving a high level understanding of how it will be. Okay. So date will be 01 05 2024. Okay. Now, number 1. Okay. This is the serial number, or just say serial number and test scenario description. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, so on. Okay. First, tell me one scenario for cart module. So now, since you have understanding of cart module, tell me one understanding. Sorry, one scenario. Guys, you have to be fast.
If we select one particular item and click on cart, it should be displayed in the cart.
Okay. So how do you write it as a scenario? Put it in a nice sentence, no?
Verify.
Adding a product in the cart.
Verify or validate. We should be.
Verify or validate what?
I mean, before writing the scenario, we have to use those words.
Okay. Fine. So how do you put it in a sentence? Verification of verify that. Okay, I'll write however you say. Verify that.
Verify that
Add to cart
Verify
button
whether
is
the
working.
product is adding
Add
to
to
the
cart.
cart.
Guys, one at a time, please.
Verify whether the product is adding to the cart.
Verify
Add to cart button is working or something.
whether product is 1 second. I'll just write one after the other. Added to cart. What is the next one that somebody else said? No.
Verify if add to cart
Check
button
add
is
to
working.
cart button is working.
I'm sorry. I'll just point out. Who wants to say? Please raise your hand. If everybody says, I'll not be able to understand what you guys are saying. Puneet. Yes, Puneet.
Verify if add to cart button is working or not.
Verify if add to cart
Button is working or not.
button. 1 second. I'll come back. Come to you. Button is working or not. Next. Whoever raised the hand. Pawan, yes.
Verifying the exactly same product has been added to the cart.
Verifying if exactly same product
Is added to the cart.
Guys, if there is some typo, please ignore it. Product is added to the cart, right? So now I have 3 different. So I'll just remove. Who's that? Manikya. Yes, Manikya.
Verify the cart icon updates with the item.
Verify. 1 second. Verify the cart icon.
Updates with item count.
Updates without item counter.
Yeah. When we click on this one, no, it will show in that cart icon.
Verify the cart
count.
icon updates with item count. Okay, I got it. So ignore the sentence formation mistakes and typo errors. So we'll just briefly go one after the other. Verify whether product is added to cart. Verify whether product is added to cart. Okay. Verify if add to cart button is working or not. See, this point is very important. So when you say so when you say this particular sentence statement, test scenario, verify if add to cart button is working or not. See, basically what we are doing here, we should be very generic. We should say something like verify the functionality of this particular thing. Whatever it is. Here we are checking the cart, or we are checking the count in the item, count in the cart icon. So the count actually increments, and when we remove it, it has to decrement. Now, what they're saying, verify if the add to cart button is working or not. Is it working or not? So you're giving 2 options. So here in the scenario, there shouldn't be any options. Even in the test case, there shouldn't be any options. Assume in the test case you are writing something like, see, now don't get confused. Okay, I'll try to explain each and everything. As a QA, you should be very perfect in writing the test case. You should be a pro in writing the test cases. Okay, so try to understand. We shouldn't give any options. Yes or no option, or yes or no statement should not be available anywhere in the test case or the test scenario. Is it working or not? Is it working in such a way or not? Is it clickable or not? No, just say verify if this button is clickable. So what happens in the test case? I'm speaking about test case. In the test case, you will say verify if the button, if the submit button is clickable or not. Assume this is the test case. Verify if the submit button is clickable or not. Instead of that, if you say verify if the submit button is clickable, that means the action can be performed. We can click on that button or not, right? But in the statement, in the description, you shouldn't mention as or not. Should not be there. Okay. Verify if the submit button is clickable. Now, in your expected result, you will be defining submit button should be clickable. And in your actual result, there are two options. Yes or no. Yes or no. Correct? Yes or no. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Whether it is clickable or not clickable. In your actual result. When do you fill the actual result? After you execute your test cases. By looking into the description of your test case, by looking into the test steps of your test case, you perform the steps, right? You try to execute by looking into the test steps in your application. One after the other, you perform the action in your application. Now, you look into the expected result. Once you finish all your test steps, perform all the test steps in the application, you look into the expected result. What is present in test result? Expected result, sorry. It says it should be clickable. It should be clickable. Submit button should be clickable. It is true statement. Yes, it has to be done. That has to happen like this. Yes, it is saying yes. Correct? Now, assume there is a bug. The clicking action is not working. Assume that button is freezed or grayed out. Now that is a bug. I agree. Yes. But what do you write in your actual result? What do you write in your actual result? Submit button is not clickable. And it is grayed out. Or submit button is grayed out, hence not clickable. So please try to understand the negative case or the the other side of the statement. So what is the statement that we have mentioned? It has to be mentioned as verify if the add to cart button is working. Okay. This is how it has to be. Is this clear to you? Nowhere you need to use this statement. Working or not, clickable or not. Okay, so this kind of statements should not be used, or not should not be there. It should just be a positive flow. How it should work, that thing should be there. Okay, so to enhance this statement, we can write it as verify the functionality of cart. Verify the functionality of cart. So, what are we saying? We are saying add to cart button should be clickable, or verify the functionality of cart button. Let us say cart button. Sorry, add to cart button. I'm sorry. Add to cart button. Now, one more update. Whenever you are writing any test scenario or test case, if you are describing any of the button, then mention whether it is a text box, or if it is a button, or if it is a radio button, or if it is a checkbox, or it is a hamburger menu. So if it is a menu, if it is a tab, so please mention what type of feature is that. What type of feature? So here add to cart is a button. So mention it as button. So these are some standards that we follow while writing the test scenario or the test case. Clear on this? Okay. So verify the functionality. So here, why am I saying as functionality? When I say as functionality, so now I'm speaking specifically about test scenario. Forget about test case. When I say functionality, it actually considers lot many cases. When I say functionality, what are all the functionalities that add to cart button should perform? So you have 10 points. Under functionality, you have 10 points. So there should be an icon of cart in the home page, right? So when it comes to button, that button should be clickable. That is first case, test case, right? Add to cart button should be clickable. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Second, the second test case. Whenever you have added a product to the cart and you log out, you have added, I'm just trying to explain, I'm not showing you in the application. This is a generic flow. Okay, you take Nika, First Cry, Hopscotch, you have multiple e-commerce applications. So consider whichever you want, but these are the general flows, right? So see, why am I not considering just Amazon? When you actually attend an interview, you are going to say that you're not going to say that you worked in Amazon. Okay, you're not going to say that you worked on Amazon e-commerce project. No. Why? Because if you say that, you need to show the documents of your Amazon company. Will that be available? Will that be available to you? Yes or no?
No, no,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No. So you are saying some other application. Instead of these applications, you will be saying some other e-commerce application. So when you say that particular application, the interviewer will not be going and checking how exactly that application is working. Okay. In case if you're saying that you work for Meesho, you had a payroll company and you were working for Meesho. Meesho was your client. Now what you need to do is, after all your project class, when you pick a particular application, just have a glance on or do some exploratory testing on that application. So you need to have the better understanding on whichever application that you're showing in your resume. So we'll come to that in the later part. Okay. I just gave a high level info on that. Now, I said that add to cart button should be clickable. Second, when you add a product to the cart, first time you add a product to the cart and say you logged out. Okay, again tomorrow or after some time you log in. Okay, you log in back. Now, if you open the same product, or in the home page, if you search for the same product, okay, and you get product listing page, so many products will be listed, out of which the one which you had already added to the cart, no, which is already in the cart page, assume that product will be shown in the product listing page. Now when you hover the mouse, there should be two options. One, so there should be another option, that is go to cart or proceed to buy. So I'll just show you if that is available in Amazon. I really don't know. Amazon.in. Yeah. Assume. What is this? Glazed countertop stainless steel. Glazed. CLAZ. It. I'll just go to home. Glazed countertop steel. What is that? Chopping board. Okay. I add. Where is that? This one, I guess. See. Okay, here it is not showing. Fine. I'll just open to see if it is available. I've already added to cart. See, I've already added this to cart. I'll just click on add to cart once more. Let me go here and see what happens. See, if you see, the quantity is incremented. There are no two entries. Instead, the quantity is being incremented because this is the same product that I had already added to cart. That was already in my cart. Yes or no? Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
If I
Yes,
take
ma'am.
Nika, see, in different applications, it will be developed in different ways. Okay, we'll see how it is in Nika. So, do I have anything in my cart? Nothing. I will add one. What should I add? Okay. Like a fashion. Okay. Okay, I'll say Indian wear. Assume I want to purchase this. Biba. Okay, Biba women's. I'll just copy this. I'll say whichever size I want. I'll add it to cart. Item added to bag. So this is the notification message. That is a notification message. Success notification. Okay, that's a success message. Now I'll go to home page. Now I'll search for the same thing. Okay. I'll go to cart. So what do you have in cart? You already have this. Okay. Go back. This is Mica fashion, huh? Not Mica. Okay. Biba Indian wear. I just want that particular dress here. I got it here. See, if I hover, what will happen? No, nothing is shown. So just images. Okay. I'll click on add to cart, add to bag. I'll go back again. I'll see what is the count. Again, the quantity is just 1. Again, okay, I had not selected, no? See, item added to bag. Now I have 2. Item quantity 2. So the quantity got incremented. If you see here, one more point. Biba Indian wear. Okay. I'll go to the same top. Okay, same dress. I'll open it. I've not selected any size. I'll click on add to bag. See? Could you see? Could you see the UI? Where is it telling me to select? What is it doing? What is the UI thing that you can see here?
It's nudging the select size option.
Yes. So it is asking me to select the size. Unless and until I select the size, I cannot move this particular product to my cart. Right? So they have used just the UI. Sometimes it can be the color highlight. It can be highlighted in some different color. Or sometimes they can give some inline or how do I explain the inline error? Okay, so sometimes they give a info icon, something in red here. They'll show, please select the size, some info message. So they also say that unless and until you select the size, we cannot add this product to the cart. So I'll select some size and I'll add to cart. Okay. Now I'll add to wish list. Wish list. Okay, that will be stored. So I cannot. My God, I think it's raining. Okay. I'll take first cry. Yes, I think it's in first cry. First cry. Firstcry.com. Yeah, firstcry.com. Here, I remember, assume I want to search baby boy shirts. Okay. So I'll take the first one. Assume I'll add it to cart. Okay, add it to cart. You see the success message here. This is being added to cart. Now I refresh. See here. Okay, selected or what? So what is the quantity? It is 710. One quantity, right? I'll go back. Firstcry.com. Baby boy. shirts. So here, if I go again, I remember in one of the application, if you guys remember, just let me know. So whenever we are in a product page, if we have already added that product to the cart, here it shows as proceed to cart or go to cart. Do you guys remember that? Any one of you? Guys? So that's okay. So did you at least understand what I'm trying to say? If assume this particular product is added to cart, now I log out or I refresh and again I search for the same product and I see the same product in the product listing page. Okay, now when I hover the mouse, I see here somewhere as go to cart or proceed to cart.
Mintra, man.
Is it Mintra? Okay, let
Yeah,
me see.
sure.
Too many examples we take, no? So just
Mintra, it will show like go to back.
so no, there's nothing in my cart. Okay, I'll take one shirt. This way is difficult. Okay, men's casual shirt. Okay, so I'll get this one. How will I add it to cart? View similar. I'll add it to wish list.
In mobile application.
Yeah, so that will be different. But in the web application only, I found it somewhere. All right, I'll just see if I can do it. I'll select the size and I'll add it to cart, add it to bag. I'll go back.
Apurva, try in Zara.
Zara. Yeah. This is not sponsored. Okay. Okay. I'll take this. I'll select and I'll add it to cart. Add it to shopping bag. Now I need to remember. Linen, no? Okay. So again, if I hover, no, that's not available in the web. So at least, are you guys getting what I'm trying to say? I don't remember which application I've observed that. So what actually happens? Assume this, I have added this to bag. Okay, here, not here. So this one I have already added it to cart. Okay, here it will show as go to cart. If I had not added this product to cart, it would have not shown that particular button. Okay, it would have shown as add to cart. If I've added, the second time when I try to open or just look at that particular product in the product listing page, this button will be changed to proceed to cart. So assume that as one more test case. Sorry, test scenario. I'm sorry. Don't get confused. It is test case, right? So that is one more test case. There are like multiple test cases that you can write for a test scenario. Hence, I can say that this is the functionality. You want to check the functionality of add to cart button. So when I do something on that add to cart button, or when I do some other what actions, so some changes will happen on the add to cart button. So all those actions or all those points will be considered as cases. You can have multiple cases for one particular scenario. So here you are checking the functionality of add to cart button. You're not specifying what exactly you need to check, but you are generalizing that you want to check some functionality on this. What is that functionality? You can have n number of functionalities. So all those n number of functionality can be considered as cases. Do you get this? Did you guys understand? Guys, are you understanding? So we are in first stage of understanding what is test scenario and test case. Are you understanding until now? Whatever you I told you.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. All of you?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Verifying if exactly same product is added to the cart. Okay, so this can also be a point. So when you click on add to cart, here, this particular point cannot be considered. So you are checking the functionality of the cart page. You're checking the functionality in the cart page. But we are actually speaking about, see, these are the points given by different people. Okay. So I'm just trying to explain what can be considered, what should not be considered. So if you are writing this, exactly same product is added to the cart or not, you are actually defining some details. Yes or no? If exactly same product is added to a cart, this is the case. This is a test case. For this test case, I can write the test scenario as verify the functionality of cart page. Under this scenario, okay, under this scenario, you can write this particular case. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Verify the cart icon updates with the item count. Again, this can be considered as verification of cart icon. So here, verification of under verification of cart icon, you can write different cases. First case, what is the first case? As, okay, as the items, as the item item count is incremented or increased, or as and when you add the items or the products, as the items are added to cart, the count in the cart icon should be incremented. Okay. Next point, as the items are removed from cart, okay, the count should be decremented. Okay. Next. Now what else? When no items are in the cart, okay, what will happen? See, I've taken first cry, right? So I'll go to the cart. Here now it is showing us 2. I'll go to the cart and I'll remove these products. Where is the button? Yeah. So one more is there. I'll remove. Okay, no items in my cart. I'll go back to the home page and see what is shown. It will show as 0 are in cart. When no items are in the cart, the count should be set to 0. Okay, clear? So for this particular scenario, these are the test cases. So we have written 3 different test cases. When I say test case, it is the case. Case number 1, case number 2, case number 3. Different cases we have to test. Hence, it's called as test case. Clear on this? Now you're getting an idea of what a test scenario is and what a test case is. Clear to all
Yes,
of you?
ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So now we'll just remove or let it be as it is. So what I was saying was, in some of the organizations, test scenario will be written something like this. Okay. 1, 2, okay, 3. This will not be there, guys. These are the test cases. Okay. 3, 4. I'm just randomly writing. Okay. 5, 6. So these are the test scenarios. Now, for these scenarios, I have to write the test cases. Okay, here I was saying some different point. So I wanted to know the test scenario attributes. Basically, as I already said, each individual company follows different formats. So there is no typical or standard format for a test case document or a test scenario document. Okay, so test scenario in some of the organizations will be written in this format, or in some of the organizations, test scenarios will have few attributes. It will be something like serial number, test scenario ID, the module name, and test scenario description. Let me write it as test scenario or scenario description. Okay. Test scenario description. Okay. So this is as same as this, but here the module is written here, but here, sorry. So here I've written it in the row. Okay. Yeah. Yes. So now I'll write 1, 2. Okay. I'll write a number of test cases and I will write the test scenario ID. What is the test scenario ID? 001, 002, 003, or you can say as test scenario underscore 003, 001, TS underscore 002, TS underscore 003. Okay. Next, TS underscore. So like this you can write. Now, what is the module name? For first scenario, let's say it will be on cart. Second scenario, it will be on cart. Third scenario, it will be on cart. Now, what I'll do, whatever you guys had said, verify if the product is added to cart. I'll cut this, I'll paste it here. Guys, please hold on and I'll just do this. Yeah, so on updates with item count. Okay, this is not a scenario. Said already. Okay. Functionality. Okay, I have the functionality. Button is working. Here only I'll do that. Okay, I'll add it. Verification of cart icon. Or verification. Verify the verification or verify the functionality of cart icon. So basically what you're trying to do, you have 50 different test cases. One might be based on cart, one might be based on what do you have? Payments, right? One might be based on the order section, one might be based on the accounts, one might be based on the login, right? So there are hundreds of test cases or 50 test cases, let's say. Each one of them belongs to different module. Okay, so what you're trying to do here, you're going to segregate them. You're going to put it under one particular module, that is cart. So now there is one step for filtering that you have done, and you have put some 10 test cases under this particular cart module. Out of 10 test cases, out of those 10 test cases, you have written some description. Okay, you have written some description. So here, what we are going to do, all the products that are added to cart, that functionality we are going to check under this test scenario. All the button functionalities, add to cart button functionalities, we are going to check under this scenario. All the cart icon functionalities, we are going to check under this. So here, next, let's say payments, next orders, accounts, account, okay, account, and what else do you have? Login. Okay, this module name attribute is also not mandatory. This module name is also not mandatory. So, okay, you can have it or you can remove it. Okay. Now, you have the test scenario ID. What is this test scenario ID? This is a unique identifier for the test scenario document. So why this is actually required? This will be required sometimes. Okay, this will be required sometimes. Just for the mapping purpose, you don't have to scratch your head, but just please do consider this. Okay, test scenario ID. While writing test cases in some of the organizations, what they do is they are going to map the test cases to the test scenario document. So when you start writing here test cases, let's say 1, there is test case, 2, another test case, 3, test case. Here you will have an attribute called test scenario ID, where this particular case, which is nothing but this particular test case. Let's say you have written one test case, which says, what is that? Functionality of cart icon. No. So when you don't have any products in the cart, when you have removed or when you don't have any product in the cart, what is the number that has to be shown? It should be 0 in the cart icon. Correct? Guys, are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So it has to be 0. That is a case. Assume that you are writing that test case. What is the test case? What is the test case? Verify when there are no items in the cart, the count in the cart icon is set to 0. I'm not saying whether verify where when there are no items in the cart, the count in the cart icon is set to 0 or not. I'm not saying or not. I'm not using that particular word. Instead, I'm just saying it has to be 0. Okay. Okay. Verify when the count is when the item is added to the cart, the count in the cart icon should be incremented by 1, or just it should be incremented. Right. So this is one particular what I'm going to wrap it. This is one particular test case. Test case description. Okay, or test case summary. You know what is test case summary or description, right? Do you guys know or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So when you want to map this test case with the test scenario document, see, try to understand. Here we are checking the functionality of the cart icon, where when you increment it, when you add a product to the cart, the number or the count should increment. Where does that come under? So it comes under any of these 3. And which one actually? It should come under this one. Correct? Yes or no? Am I right?
Yes.
So what is the test scenario ID associated to it? It is 003. Now what I'll do, I'll copy this and I'll put it here in the test scenario ID. Clear? So now you got to know why we use the test scenario ID. This is used for mapping purpose. That's all. Okay. So this particular test scenario ID in the test case document, this is not a mandatory field, but in some organizations they use it. That is the reason in some organizations, wherever they use the test scenario ID in the test case document, they will have the test scenario ID here in the test scenario document. Clear? We have not yet moved to test cases. Okay, we are just discussing about test scenarios. I just gave you some information or some high level knowledge on what a test scenario is. We'll write few more important test scenarios. Okay, so after that, we'll come to that later. Okay. Now I want you to understand what is a test case. Can somebody tell me what is the attribute of the test case? What are all the attributes of test case?
Serial number, test case ID.
Serial number, test case ID. Okay, let me write it.
Oh.
Let me note it down. Serial number, test case ID,
Test ID.
Hmm.
Module.
Test data.
test data,
Module.
module,
Test scenario.
Description.
what test scenario? You want me to add it as test scenario? Test scenario.
Test summary.
Or test
Summary. Okay. What else?
test cases.
Ma'am, both same. Test summary and test this one scenario same.
No, somebody said only summary. So I just added it. I want you guys to explain what is right, what is not right.
Test steps.
Test steps.
Priority.
Sorry?
Priority.
Priority. Okay. Priority. Huh.
Expected results.
Expected result.
Actual result.
Actual result.
Actual result. Huh.
Test status.
Test status.
Priority.
Defect ID.
Priority already.
Priority is done.
Defect ID.
Defect ID.
Defect ID.
Defect ID or bug ID, whatever. Yeah, that's fine.
Comment.
Review remarks.
Comment. Review. Huh?
That's it, ma'am.
Am I in the same page?
Same only.
What did I do? Okay. Sorry. Review. Reviews, huh?
That's it, ma'am. Comment, review, everything same.
Okay. So now you said serial number, test case ID, test data, module, test scenario, summary, test steps, priority, expected result, actual result, test status, defect ID, comments, reviews. One more important, very important point. It will come somewhere here in between. Forgot, huh? Do you know what is a precondition? Guys,
No, ma'am.
can you hear me?
No.
No, ma'am, we haven't.
Hey, was this not covered in your manual class?
Sir, not covered the.
Sure, not covered?
Precondition is
Precondition.
not mentioned.
Just explained regarding that, but in notes, not
Okay.
given in the templates.
Fine, no problem. We'll just cover it. Okay. So at least do you know what is precondition? The definition, was that given?
No, madam, it's not given.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the test case document. So any other thing that is being mentioned somewhere here, like what is the module name? Module is here. Okay. Whom is it written by? Whom is it reviewed by? Any other points that is given? No?
That's given in the footer of the case.
What is in the header?
Header? It's like the same thing. I mean, header we have all the attributes.
Okay.
And then are all the attributes covered, and these attributes are like relevant or not? Have to check.
Sorry, I didn't get you. What did you mean? Can you put it in some other way?
All the attributes are relevant to the test that we are doing. That's it, ma'am. It's given as
Can you tell me what are all the footers footer attributes that was given?
Reviewed by
Author.
or written by author. Yeah, author. we have.
Author name, reviewed by, approved by,
Approved date.
approved date.
Author name, approved date. Okay.
Date. Approved by.
Reviewed.
It's reviewed or approved. Yeah, That's fine.
Approved by.
Reviewed by.
Approved date.
I'll put it here somewhere here. What else? Approved data.
Approved date.
That's all. Okay. Done now.
This one.
Okay. So author name. Okay. Okay. So author name, reviewed by, approved date, approved by. It's all reviewed by. Approved date is already there. Okay. Or written date. Okay. When was this document actually written or prepared? Okay. So see, whenever we write the test cases, okay, in all the organizations, the test case attributes will not be same all the time. In each and every organization, that can be different. So there is no one standard document. But this document or these attributes which you mentioned just now, so this can be considered as a typical format of writing test case document. Okay. So these are some important attributes that we have considered. In some of the organizations, module, submodule will also be there. And comments is already there. But yeah, this again, I can say that this is not a mandatory attribute. But yes, since you have considered it, just learn in this way, like whatever you have learned, but please add the precondition. Precondition is actually important. Okay. Now we'll see one after the other what each mean. Okay. Serial number is serial number. Test case ID is the unique identification, or it's an identifier. It's a unique number that is being given to each test case, right? So how do we represent the test case? It will be represented something like 0001 or 001. Why do we write something like this? Or why can't we write it as 1? You can write it like this, no? Was this how you had written it in your manual class? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yes or no?
No, ma'am. DC underscore 001.
Okay, good then. So this is how you write the test case IDs, right? So now you might have hundreds of test cases. So this is some standard format of providing the test case ID. Okay. So when you have hundreds, it is good to have 100. So 3 digits. If you are writing the test cases on some complex applications where you have thousands of test cases on a single module, or in a single sheet, or in a single document, you have thousands of test cases, please take 4 digits, 0001. Okay. But usually you will not be writing so many test cases. Yeah. So good to have is 3 digits. So just this TC defines it as test case ID. Since you have already written the test scenario, TS underscore, you're defining that this particular 003 is the test scenario. But this particular TC003, this is the test case. Whenever somebody says, or whenever somebody points out, in 003, there is some issue or there is some mistake while preparing the documentation, then that will be a little confusing for you, right? So this is just the representation. So if you differentiate with TS or TC, it will be easy for you. So these are all some very basic points. Now, what is test data? What do you understand by test data?
The data which is given by the developer, the dummy data, or like
Data is given by the developer. Okay.
sample data to test an application.
Will that be given by developer? Guys, yes, no.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other point you want to add on, or anybody else wants to add some more points, or shall we move on?
One, ma'am.
That's it.
Okay. So when I say test data, so this is the data, some information, some additional information, or the data to test the application. We need some data. For example, now I want to test Amazon application. Assume I want to test Amazon application. What is the data that I need to have? I need to have an account. First thing, whatever I need for whatever I test, I need to have some basic requirements. What is that? I need to have an account. Yes or no? Should I have an account?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? See, B is the guest user or registered user. So I'll say he's a registered user. So I need to have some credentials, some username, password, right? Correct? Or for here, it has to be the phone number, right? When I'm creating the account, I need some data, some information. So that information, whenever you are executing the test case, whenever you are executing the test case, that information, before you start testing that application or testing that particular case, what are all the data that you need? Okay, so that is called as test data. Okay, now precondition. What do you mean by precondition? Precondition is the prerequisite. Okay, precondition is a prerequisite which you need before you start testing an application. We'll come to it when I give examples. You will understand it really well. Okay, what is a module? Module, as I already said, whenever you take any application, so whenever you want to differentiate a particular button or some particular category with the module, you need to have some domain knowledge. That is when you can say that, yes, this is a module. So when I say module, one big application, take one big application. Sorry. So when we consider one big application, okay, so we will have some, or that particular application is divided into different modules. Now, when I take this Amazon, when I take this application, so what do we have? We have homepage, okay, homepage. We have homepage. Then we have orders. Orders can be considered as module, right? We have cart. Here we have cart. Cart can be considered as module. And if you go down, what else? No, not languages. One second, I'll just explain. These are features, okay? These are features. These images and all these are features. We'll see here. Help and settings is a module. So we actually categorize the first level of categorization, whatever we get in an application. So I can define it in that way. Okay, first level of categorization of an application, we can call them, all of them, as modules. And then comes the payments. Then we have accounts, login. Okay, so all these we can consider as module. Login cannot be considered as module. Login is a feature. So it is a very small feature. Login will be a very small feature. It is just providing some details and clicking on create account, submission, right? So then with your basic details, you will be registered. So you will have a basic account. Okay, so login is not a module. So here I can say the accounts are there, orders are there, payments is there, right? So all these can be considered as module. Help and settings. Settings can be a module. Settings is a module. In most of the applications, settings is a module. Okay. Now, when we explore different other applications, you will understand it really well. So now coming back to this. So module. Next, test scenario. What is this test scenario? It is test scenario ID. I cannot type the whole test scenario, right? So I'll just have IDs. Okay. Now, summary or test summary. Test summary, or it can be also called as test description. Okay. It's the description. It's description, test description, or you can call it a summary. In some of the organizations, they call it description. In some, they call it a summary. Okay, but you should have knowledge on this. Okay, whenever once you get job, when they say test description, what is the test description? You should be able to understand, okay, it is test summary. I'm saying this because you're used to summary now. Okay. So please try to understand test description is nothing but test summary. Okay. What is this? This is a high level info about the whole test case. What actually should happen? See, when I said, whenever you add a product to the card, okay, whenever you add a product to the card, the icon count should be incremented by one number. Whenever you add one product to the card, the current icon is there, no? There, the count should be incremented by one number. Let's say there is 0. I will add one product to the cart. Count should be incremented to 1. I will add one more to the cart. Count should be incremented by another 1. So how many will it be? How many will it be? Earlier it was 1. I added one more. Increment by 1. That is 2. Right? So that information of the test case will be here in the test summary or the description. What do you mean by test steps? Guys, that's a question to you. What do you mean by test steps?
The steps or the procedure
Steps
to do
we
the test.
Procedures to do the testing. Other answer.
Steps we perform to do the tests.
Okay. Any other answer?
It's a document to tell us to how to do testing.
How to do testing? It's a document. Sorry, please, that answer is not there. I mean, that's not a right answer. I mean, whatever your understanding might be correct, but the way you are trying to convey, I'm understanding it in a different way. Okay. Any other point? See, whenever you want to test the application, there should be steps given. Okay, there should be some steps. That means first, where you have to navigate. Where you have to navigate in the application. What is the action that you need to perform? First, you have to provide your phone number in the login page. Okay, you have to navigate to the login page. In the phone number field, provide the valid phone number. Then provide valid password. Click on send OTP. Once you receive the OTP to the registered mobile number, whatever number you have given, no, so to that number you will receive an OTP. So enter that OTP. Click on submit button. Okay, click on submit button. So these are the steps that you perform on an application. Detailed information on steps to perform on an application is nothing but test steps. It's a step-by-step information to perform on an application to execute. Okay, that is an execution. This is the execution. Whenever you perform the steps, it's called as execution. Okay, so it's a step-by-step info that you need to perform on an application. What is priority? Priority of the test case.
How soon we have to fix the defect? How important it is to fix the defect?
Okay, any other answer?
How critical the bug is.
Okay. Any other point?
The impact it makes on
like high,
application.
low, medium.
Sorry. I want everybody to answer for this. Very important. I have a point here. Okay.
Yeah.
I need all the answers. Puneet, hold on.
That's an impact which is making it on application. How badly it's impacting or how less it is impacting.
Okay. Any other answer?
Effectiveness of the defect.
Of the defect. Okay. Any other answer? Guys?
How
Okay.
to impact the fixing of bug.
Fixing of bug. Any other point? I want everybody to answer, guys. I want to understand your understanding, your level of
In
understanding.
form of high priority, low priority, right?
Okay. Afreen, what is your understanding on this?
I was the first one to answer it, ma'am.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you said the priority of the bug, right? Then
No,
Ashwini?
I said how soon and how important we have to fix the bug.
Okay, fine. Ashwini? Did you answer? Kanakalakshmi, did you answer?
How soon you want to fix the defect based
Ha,
on
Kavish.
the
Okay, got it, Kanklakshmi. Kavishri answered. Manikya, did you answer?
Same, man.
Okay,
Same.
Nikita.
How important to fix the defect like that? Like same, whatever.
Okay, Nikita.
Order in which a defect should be addressed on the priority.
Okay, Pavan.
Effectiveness of the
Effectiveness of the.
particular defect bug.
Okay. I think Puneet answered. Sanjana Iremat.
How important to fix the defect?
Okay, Shrikant Raju.
How fast we can fix the defect?
Okay, fine. We'll come back to this. Okay. So we were looking at the priority. So where do you have the priority? In which document do you have the priority?
Defect reporting.
Is this a defect report document that we are discussing about? What do you see the name as? SK's document. So we have defined the priority for the test case, not for the bug, guys.
Okay.
Do you remember now? Pogata? Martoitella awagle. Manual ella martoito. Mock mugito? Okay, out of the mind. Ella tegda ache hakbidivira. Do you remember or not?
I remember, ma'am.
We are speaking about the priority of test case, not the bug. Say for example, ivaga ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, let me take an example. Okay, when I am writing a test case, will it always fail? The test case when I execute the test case, will the status be always failed?
No, ma'am.
So sometimes or most of the times it should pass. Yes or no? If the developer has developed the application in a good for way, so it has to work. So the status will be set to pass. Correct? Now, when the status is set to correct, do we have the priority? Do we have the priority always? Now, when the status is pass, you will not have any bug. Correct or not?
Yes, ma'am. If it is passed, we don't have bug.
We will not have bug. Correct? Expected result is equal to actual result. What is the status then?
Pass.
Pass. Will you have something here in defect ID column?
No, ma'am. We will not have.
Then will you have something in the priority column?
No, ma'am. If it is regarding,
Then you guys are not understood.
ma'am, we have given only this definition of priority, ma'am. How soon we have to?
Listen.
We will have the priority.
Priority for like we have so
priority. How like which module needs to be tested first?
First, yeah.
Yes. So priority of that particular description. So when I say priority, what is this? The increment of the count. Is that of priority? So this particular case. So the priority that I'm actually providing or that I'm saying is for the description that I have mentioned. So if I have to put it in some good form, so I mean, most of you have this question, right? So most of you haven't understood or you have confusion. You're confused. It's not that you have understood, but you are confused. See, please don't get confused when I say priority. Priority is not always related to a bug. Priority is not always related to a bug. Priority can be different for bug and it will be different for the test case. Okay? Even if the test status is pass, you said that priority will be not present here, but you will have the priority. See, the priority that we have in this column in the test case document is not related to the fail status. It is not related to the fail status. This priority is related to the test description that we have. So when I say that the count has to increment, verify if the count of the cart icon increments whenever a product is added to the cart. What do you think the priority for this particular feature is?
High.
High.
Are you understanding now? Right? So the priority is high here. Okay? So now I will say whenever you add a product to the cart, assume that you are in the product details page. We'll go to product details page. Okay, we'll see what happens. No, Myntra. Okay, I'll add this to cart. See, whenever I add a product to the cart, see here, I will click on cart or I'll go to Amazon only. Let's not get confused. I'll take one product. I don't know what product. Okay, I will click on cart. So what actually happened? It actually took us to the cart page. Yes or no? This is the, sorry, no, not the cart page. It was just the notifier. It is just the notification that it is saying you, sorry, not you, the product is added to the cart. Okay, it is just a notifier. It's just a notification or a success message that is being shown to you. It's just a notifier that is being shown to you. Here, if you click on go to cart, then you will go to shopping cart. But if you go back, this is just a notification, success notification that it is saying as this product is added to cart. Okay, so assume now you open a product, you select a product, you are in the product details page, right? Product details page. Now you click on add to cart. Assume when you click on add to cart, instead of showing this particular notification, success note, it is actually taking you here. The product is added to cart, but it is not showing the success message. It is not showing the success message. Is it a bug or not?
No, ma'am, it won't be a bug, ma'am. Because
Sorry?
if it's not added in the requirement, it won't be a bug, ma'am. Because it's just a notification.
Very
low
good.
priority because it's not impacting the business.
Let's go to the priority later.
It's
We'll
not
go to the
important.
priority later, guys. We'll go to the priority later. First, tell me whether this is a bug or not. So somebody answered. Who was that? Who answered first?
No, ma'am.
Afreen. Okay, very good. So, see, the interviewer will have some expectations, right? So, whenever you add a product to cart, where was I? Whenever you add a product to the cart, see, what I'm being very generic here. Okay, I have not given the requirements yet. I'm not saying when you add a product to the cart, a notification success note should be shown. If it is successfully added to the cart, a success note should be shown. I'm the BA or I am the product owner. I have not given any requirement saying that success note should be shown. So in my requirement, I have not mentioned anything. So the QA, if you are testing, you cannot say that a success message is not given. So it is a bug. You cannot say that because it is not mentioned in the requirement. Okay. If when you are testing, if you think that, okay, when you add the product to the cart, if a success message is shown, that looks good for the end user. So it is a notification that to the customer saying that yes, your product is successfully added to the cart. So that is a good to have part. So what does the tester do? In real time, what do? They actually add it as enhancement point. Okay, enhancement point. Or they actually contact the lead or the senior QA. If he or she is a fresher or a junior or associate test engineer, then they are going to contact their seniors. So they'll communicate with them. See, I feel like there should be a success message. Should this be considered or not? Or should this be ignored? So the senior QA is going to suggest you with their domain expertise. Okay, so they have certain experience, good amount of experience in that domain, working in the domain, right? So they will know better. So they are going to tell you, okay, yeah, this can be considered. So let us go and discuss with the product owner, or let us go and discuss with the lead, whoever is available and whoever they feel is the right person, right? So they are going to discuss it with them. But when we write the test case, if the success note is not shown, assume I have written a test case which says whenever I click on add to cart button, success message should be shown. That is the test summary. Okay. Verify. I'll write it in the perfect way. Verify whenever the product is added to cart, success message should be or is shown. Success message. Don't use should, okay? Should not be used in the test summary. Success message is shown. Should will be used only in the expected result. Please remember this. Okay? Please remember this. Success. Oh, sorry. Should word will be used in the expected result. So what is the expected result? Whenever the product or the item is added to the cart, success message should be shown. It has to happen. It should happen. Okay. So in expected result, under expected result, whenever you write any expected result, please try to use should. Okay. Should be shown. It should happen. Okay. It should behave like this. It should show these many fields. It should accept these characters. If it is a text field, you should say it should. The login text field or login field should accept exactly 10 numbers or 10 numeric characters. Are you getting this point? Guys, are you understanding?
Yes.
Okay. So here, make it generic. Please don't try to use the word should. Okay. That is not the right way to do it. Okay. Under the description. Now, coming to the priority. Now, for this particular thing, this is the expected result. Assume no success message is shown. Okay. So, no success message is shown. When you are testing the application, you follow the test steps and you see that no success message is shown. Now, tell me, what is the priority for this?
Low.
Low. Okay. Any other answer?
Medium.
Sorry?
Medium.
Medium. Any other? See, please try to justify if you're saying low, why do you say it as low? If you're saying medium, why? High, why?
Low, ma'am.
Please justify. Why do you think it is low?
Because
It's
it's medium because
depend upon application to application, ma'am. It's not affecting any customer satisfaction like that. That's why low priority.
You said it differs from application to application. Then why are you saying low?
According to me, it is not making any huge impact on the application, or is not making any of the errors. It's just that message is not shown and it can be fixed.
See, one more point. Now you're getting confused with the priority and the severity. It is not affecting the customer business workflow. That's true. When I say customer business workflow is affected, there comes the severity concept.
User interface. Actually.
Okay, there comes the severity. Sorry?
Customer is satisfied with the user interface. It's not affecting like.
Okay.
I'm talking about user interface, not talking about business.
Okay. So it's okay if your understanding is fine. I mean, if your understanding is correct, it's okay. But let others not make the same mistake. Okay. So severity will not come into picture here. Severity is with respect to the bug. But priority here, I'm speaking about the test case priority. What is the priority for that particular case, not the bug? Okay. Yeah. But whenever in an interview or anywhere they ask you, please explain or tell me something about priority, please start to explain about the bug, not about the test case. Okay. High, medium, low, whatever, P0, P1, P2, whatever you have studied, no? And also, if you want to give examples, please give examples with respect to bugs, not with respect to the test cases. Only when you write the test case. When you write the test case, we have the priority here in the test case document with respect to the test summary or test case description. Okay. And one more thing is, this priority is there, no? This is not a mandatory field, but in most of the companies, they use it, the priority. Okay. Even if they have it, some of the test engineers, what they do is they don't fill up anything because they'll be held up with so many things. So they'll not, they'll just take it for granted and they'll just leave it. So nobody's going to even ask, why haven't you considered this particular column? Okay. So they'll just,
because while we writing the test cases only, we're going to prioritize. That's why this is not that much.
Yeah, so that is the reason I'm saying in most of the companies it will be used. In 90% of the companies, this priority column will be used, but this is not a mandatory one. But when I say test description or test steps, in whichever company you go, this is 100% required. Yes or no? Test steps.
Yeah.
Actual result 100% required. Expected 100% required. Status required. Defect ID not mandatory. Not mandatory. 95% of the organizations use defect ID in the test case document, but it is very important actually. It is important. See, this is my personal opinion. In some of the organizations, they might not have it. Okay. Comments, not mandatory. Reviews, not mandatory. Okay. Even if you don't have these particular columns, you can proceed with the test case document, right? Okay. So priority also comes into picture. In some of the organizations, it's very important. Some of the organizations, not so important. So when the interviewer asks you, what are all the attributes of the test case, you can say, you can just make a note of all this and tell them that these are the attributes that you used in your previous organization. That is very important. Please have that statement. So these are the attributes, or this was the standard test case document that you were using in your previous organization or in your last organization. In whichever organization you were working, this was the test case document. Okay. Now, here, when I ask you what is the priority of this, it depends. That depends with respect to the requirement document. Requirement document. In the requirement document, if it is mentioned that there should be a success message shown, okay, now this will be of medium priority. In case, if in the requirement document, if this is not mentioned, now simply you cannot consider this particular thing in your what test case document. What you can do is, you can go communicate with your seniors, or you can go communicate with your product owners, right? Or your lead. You can go communicate with them and you can come up with the priority as low, medium, high. Sometimes they say this is really very important. We should have this. Then you can say it as high. So priority cannot be that's not a stable state. That can be changed depending on what they want, how fast they want, how soon they want it. Okay, they can define it. So when I say high, they have to work on this particular test case first. Who? The developer. This particular feature. So that success message, they have to work on this on priority. So again, but as a test engineer, what do you feel? You feel that this is not of much priority. So there are much more higher priority tasks that are there. So this is not a high priority task. So I'll make it as low. Whenever you're writing the test case document in the first state, so you start writing the attributes, you have all these, you start with test case 1, test case 2. So as soon as you write this particular test case, you fill in all the data, right? All the information in all the column under all the attributes. And you also fill in the priority as per your understanding. What do you think should be the priority? You fill in there. Later, if they want it to be changed, we can change it. Clear on this? Now you are good with the priority, right? Everybody? See, it might look very small to you now, but when you start working and literally I'll say like some of them, they struggle to even provide the priority. Okay, forget about this priority. Even the bug priority and severity, they struggle a lot. Okay, so I want you to understand in a very good way so that you don't have any confusion. Okay, if you have any confusion, please ask me. Okay, fine. Now we'll come to the expected result. What is expected result?
Whenever the
If you're speaking, we cannot hear you, whoever is speaking. Guys, please answer fast.
Expected result is as per the requirement given.
Okay, what do you expect the result should be? How should
It
the
should be
application
positive.
work, right? So
Yep.
that will be mentioned here. So the important point that I mentioned is should be shown, should be accepted. Okay, so this should word should be used. Should word should be used in under expected result, right? So what is the positive expectation? Don't write the negative part of it. Okay, write the positive part. How should it work? What should be shown? All those points you write under expected result. Now, don't have multiple expected results. Say, for example, first one. Whenever the product item is added to cart, success message should be shown. Or one more point I wanted to add here under expected result, no need to write the whole sentence. Okay. Here under the description, you have mentioned the high level information. Whenever the product is added to cart, success message should be shown. What is the expected result? Success message should be shown. It's enough. Okay. Now, under expected result, okay, don't have multiple expected result. See, like this. For one particular test case, don't have multiple expected results. See, 1 or 2 is fine, but don't have too many expected results, please. Okay, if you want to have too many expected results, if you feel like there should be multiple expected results, then what you need to do is one particular expected result, cut it and put it under next test case, and same thing. Okay, if you feel like this expected result should come under here, this particular test case, copy and paste the same thing here and enter the expected result that you had as step number 3. Expected result number 3. Put the same thing here down. So what happens is it will become very clumsy. So there is no point in having an Excel, right? So you can, if you want to have some points, then you can jot it down on a sheet of paper also, right? So there's why are we using Excel here? It will be in an organized form, right? So that's the reason. Please don't have expected result, multiple expected results at a time in the same cell. Okay. And also, there can be one more question. Very simple. Where were you writing your test cases? Where did you write your test cases? This can be a question to you guys. Okay. I see most of you have plans to show 2+ years of experience. So yeah. So here you can say that we were writing the test cases or the test scenarios in the Excel. Okay, we were writing it in the Excel, or you were writing it in the spreadsheet. Since that was a shared drive, we used to share it with our peers. Or you can say, to be in the safer side, you can say that we were using the Excel sheets to write the test cases, and we were getting it reviewed by our peers or leads. Once the review is done, based on the comments, okay, or based on the reviews or the comments, we updated the test cases, got it reviewed again by the same person, or different person, whatever. And then we stored it in the shared drive. We stored it in the shared drive so that other people, my peers, were also able to access it. So they will also, other people also will have access to my test case documents. In the same way, other people also used to do the same thing, so that whenever, assume I'm working on a card page, I have written test cases in this sprint. Say I went on a vacation, or I was not well, so I took some long leave, say 1 week, 15 days, right? If your sprint is like around 15 days, first 15 days, you wrote the test cases. Second 15, last 15 days, you actually got the bid, but you are not there. You will not be able to work because you were on leave. See, just because you are not there, nobody is going to leave it. Some other QA should take initiative, or your lead should take initiative, or some other person in your team should take initiative to execute the test cases. How are they going to do? Will they start writing the test cases? No, that's not possible. So they will open the test case document that you have written. They will spend some half an hour, 1 hour, or 2 to 3 hours to understand the feature or the test cases. They'll go through the test cases and understand what is the requirement. Okay. First of all, in the sprint planning meeting only, that person will also be present. Correct? Yes or no? Will that person be present in the sprint planning meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
So he'll also have some idea on what are you working on. Some basic knowledge he or she will have. So now they're going to dig deep into the requirements, and they'll understand a lot more about the requirements. Now what they're going to do, that person will read each and every test case. Okay. Now he has to work on it. So if he has to have access to your document, he cannot ask you, right? Please share me that document. He cannot ask you. So they will have, for a particular team, they will have a drive which is being shared among the team members. So they can go and access that particular test case document, and they can start with the execution. They will update the status. They will update the defect IDs. They will do retesting on the bugs. Now, there's one question, some important interview question. What is the difference between, see, I'm trying to cover then and there. Please make a note of it. What is the difference between retesting and what is the difference between retesting and regression testing? Retesting and regression testing. So what do you think is retesting and regression testing?
Regression testing is like we are testing whether the changes have impacted the unchanged features. Have they introduced any of the bugs in the unchanged features? It's like re-executing it's like re-executing the same test cases in a new release or new build. It's like we are
So that is
regression testing.
okay. So what is retesting then?
Retesting means testing the features which have been fixed. Like when after it's been fixed, then we are testing those features.
Okay.
Revalidating
the
Defects.
okay. Yeah, good. So this can be a very important question. Okay, I know this is being covered in your manual class, but yes, this is a very important question. For 2+ years, this is very important. Now, so now you got an idea of answering the question, where were you writing your test cases? On safer side, you can say you were using Excel, and the document, once the preparation is done, whenever we update it, okay, we open the same document in the shared drive and update it and just save and close it. Okay. This is what was done. Otherwise, you can say we were using Google spreadsheets, which will be shared among the team members. Again, just for your information, we can write test cases in different applications. Okay. So we have something called as test rail, which is a tool, test rail. If you have heard about it, it is a test rail, which is a test case repository. It's a test repository. Okay, so there you can write test cases, execute test cases, and you can do a lot many other stuff, but it is not a project management tool. It is just a test management tool. Okay. Likewise, you have a Jira plugin called Zafire. Okay, so see, as I said, it is a tool, so you need to explore it. Since we do not have access to it, and most of the organizations, okay, like it's kind of 50-50. Some of the organizations use some other tools to store the test cases as a repository, but in some of the organizations, some 50% of organization, what they do is they write it on some spreadsheets. So you will be on safer side if you say that you were writing it on Excel, a spreadsheet. Okay. Yeah. So now what is test status? Test status is just the pass or fail. So whenever the expected result is equal to the actual result, the test status will be pass or fail. When both are equal, what will it be?
Pass.
Pass. When both are not equal?
Fail.
Fail.
Okay.
Fail.
So when do you have the defect ID? When you have the test status as pass, will you have the defect ID?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
Whenever you have the test status as fail, you will have the defect ID. Now, in Jira, you will be learning about Jira. Okay. How the stories are created, how the epic is created, how do you create a bug? Okay. How the defect ID is generated. So when I'll show you all that. Okay. I'll show you. I'll create an account in Jira and I'll show you from scratch whatever the product managers do. So all those things I'll be showing you. Does anybody have idea on working Jira, or is anybody using Jira currently?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Nobody? People who are working? Nobody? There were few people, no, who are working. Pawan, I think Kavyashri,
Civil engineer. No?
Punita,
No, ma'am. I'm
Punita
not
Pawan, who's that?
We are using Snow environment, Apurva, not Jira.
Okay, no, just wanted to see because I don't remember what you're working as. Kavyashri, nobody know? So, because most of you here are from computer science background, so I don't know what you guys are working on. All right. So nobody here knows about Jira. So we'll go from scratch. Okay. How everything is created, we'll see that. So just coming back to this. Yeah. So whenever the status is failed, we have the defect ID. Now, whenever the test status is failed, what is the first thing that you're going to do? You are going to create a
Log the defect to the, in Jira tool, you will log it.
Yes, we are going to create the defect or log the bug in Jira. Right? Once you log, the ID will be automatically generated. The ID will be automatically generated. Guys, 1 second. Yeah, I'm sorry. So the ID will be automatically generated. You just copy paste that ID and put it here under defect ID. So what about this comment and reviews? This is not very important, but yeah, we'll go through that tomorrow. So we'll stop for today. So from tomorrow, we'll start writing the actual test cases. Okay, test scenarios and the test cases on the e-commerce application. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow, guys. Any question for today? Guys, any question for today? No, all good?